What's up everyone? My name's Allison Ryan and thank you for stopping by Taking On Type 1. Today we're going to be talking about 3 different ways to keep on the unit. Now what I mean by the unit is the bubble and the Libre linked together as one piece. We're going to talk about stickers, a patch, a 3D printed clip, and kind of just what I think of all of them and what works best for what. But as always, before we get started, let's roll that intro. That I tried to keep the unit on and together was the stickers that come with the bubble itself. These little guys right here, you can see they come 4 to a sheet. Now I've used these a few times, but I really don't trust them just using them on their own. I use them usually in combination with a patch or with something else, but I don't really trust their strength just on their own. Now I know a lot of other people just use these and they do absolutely everything with them, but for me personally, I don't feel like this is enough adhesive to keep this attached to me, and I don't feel confident in just going out somewhere in public where I know it might fall off and I might not ever find it. Now how you attach these is super simple. You just take one off the sheet as you see here and you lay it down on the back of the bubble and you just stick it on and you peel off the other back side of it and you stick it onto your skin. It's super easy to put on and it sticks decently well until it hits water. Now I've used these in a pool in combination with something else, of course, but when I took off the patch and then found the sticker underneath, it was completely wet and it didn't have much of a stick left to it at all, so that's why I say I'm not very confident in it, in just using it by itself. Now I do use these, as I said, underneath the patch if I want a little extra support or if I'm having a hard time placing the bubble when I'm putting the whole patch on. I do use these and they are very handy. They do come with the bubble, as I mentioned. You can also order more off their website, which I will link in the description below. But my overall for this is that I wouldn't use it just by itself. It's a really handy sticker, but again, I wouldn't just use it by itself. The next thing you can use is a patch. This is called Not Just a Patch. You can order from their website, which I will link in the description below. And as you're seeing here, there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can peel off the 2 sides and leave the center piece with the paper on it, and that's so that it doesn't stick to something similar to a Dexcom where there's just one solid piece. But for the bubble, I prefer to take off the whole thing and use it as one big sticker over the whole thing, just because I like to keep it nice and tight. When I do apply this, as you can see, I like to run my finger along the whole edge and kind of pinch it to it, and then I run my fingernail in between the 2 connection pieces just to make sure that's nice and tight and secure and it's holding the whole unit together really well. So what I have to say about the Not Just a Patch, I would say it's a great patch. I've used this and I've used Sim Patch and another one that's kind of an off brand that I found on Amazon. But this is the only one I've actually used with the bubble and the Libre together, and I found that this one works really well. Now when I use the other 2 with just my Libre, what I'm going to be talking about here is just kind of how waterproof it is, so that doesn't really matter that I didn't use it with the bubble. This one I would say has a really good waterproof fit to it. It's not completely waterproof because it is still a little bit of a cloth, but I feel like it does keep the most moisture out compared to the other 2. Again, I do like the option that you can take out this middle piece or you can leave it in. It's really universal, so if you ever switch to something else, you don't have wasted patches. They're a little more expensive. It's a pack of 20 for about $22 or $23. But I'm not finding myself changing them that often. I feel like I could probably get a full 2 weeks out of this if I wanted. I do change it more often than that just because I have sensitive skin and I like to move the bubble around because I find that water actually gets trapped underneath the bubble when I swim or do a lot of showers or those kinds of things. So I do switch them out, but that's just my personal preference. It's not the adhesive that is no longer working. It's just my personal preference of wanting to move the bubble possibly to the other side of the Libre. These are also probably one of the most hyperallergenic patches that I've tried. I don't feel like they irritate my skin near as much as some of the other ones. They will itch for a little bit after I put them on, but the long-lasting effects, I feel like I'm able just to kind of scratch around it and be done with it, and it doesn't really itch anymore. It also comes off very easily. Now what I mean by that is not that the adhesive is bad or not that it doesn't stick well, but when you're ready to actually take it off, the peeling process, it's not very painful. Some of the other ones really stick to your skin and it really hurts getting them off. These stick when they're supposed to and come off when they're ready. and when you're ready, which is even more important. And that's why I really do like these. So even though they are a little more pricey, I would say that I would probably choose them again. Just long lasting effects and the waterproof and the hyperallergenic. All those things are little things, but really they make a huge difference. Now the last thing I tried was a 3D printed clip. Now this is relatively new with the bubble coming along and the new technology and stuff. People are starting to 3D print clips that are supposed to hold the two together so you don't have to have a patch and you don't have the water underneath irritation or anything like that. So I tried one. I ordered one this week, and as you guys saw in my Instagram sneak peek last night, I just got them in, which is why my video is a little later this week. I was super excited to try them and show you guys and just kind of give a good overview on them, but I honestly don't like them, and I don't know if it's just this specific one that I got. I ordered it off of eBay, and they look really nice, as you can see in the video here. They look really nice. They're really sturdy, like that's not the problem. I just don't feel like they fit the unit very well. The bubble fits in super, super nicely. As you can see, it's nice and flat. But when I flip it over, you can see that the Libre is actually kind of angled and it just doesn't look like it has a good connection. I feel like it sticks off of my arm when I tried it on. I didn't really like that. So I personally wasn't a fan of the 3D clip. I was hoping to give you guys a really great overview and tell you all to go out and buy one, but I don't know if I would. Now, I do know there are other bubble clips out there, and if anyone has one that they would like me to try and review on my channel or just review personally and give you feedback, I'd be more than willing to do that. But for this one that I purchased, I'm not a huge fan. I just don't feel like it fits well, and I don't feel like the added bulkiness is actually worth anything at all. I was hoping that I would be able just to like put it on and just kind of leave it and not have to worry about a patch if I was just kind of out and about, but I just don't feel confident in it. It actually makes me really nervous that it's actually going to get caught more just because it doesn't hold to my skin very well. Like when I had it on my arm, for example, it felt like it was kind of doing one of those, not quite that much obviously, but it didn't feel flat and it didn't feel secure at all. So what are my thoughts? Ending, wrap up, conclusion, what do I use? A lot of times I will use the bubble stickers, but I will use them in combination with the Not Just a Patch. Now, why do I use both? I use both because a lot of times it's really hard to put the bubble on without anything sticking it down to the skin. And so I use those to stick it down to the skin, and then I'm able to line it up, and then I put the patch on and it's all good to go. So using the combination of the two keeps it really, really strong. And I don't feel like I'm ever gonna lose it. It doesn't have too much of an irritation to my skin. While I would have liked the clip to work, it didn't for me personally. Again, I'm willing to try others. This isn't my last one that I'm gonna try. But in general, I'm a bigger fan of the combination of these and just kind of using them together. As you can see, I'm wearing the Not Just a Patch right now. I actually don't have the bubble sticker on because I was able to have some help putting this one on. But I'm wearing the Not Just a Patch. You can see how big it is. They do have some really fun colors if you'd like some fun colors, but for me personally, I like just the nude skin tone colors, and it works really great. You can see that it covers really far around, and so I'm not worried about catching it on anything, and it just works super well. So I'm super happy with Not Just a Patch. Again, their link will be in the description, so you can buy one of those. I purchased mine through their store on Amazon, and I got them really quickly. The one that you're going to select, I'll also have this in the description, but the one you're going to select is the one that's fit for a Myo 1 / Dexcom, because they actually don't have a specific one for the bubble. Obviously, that's the one that I use. If you do want to use this middle piece, use it. Don't use it if you want that option. Obviously, it does fit. This is a little bigger than the actual unit itself, but it does fit, so you will be able to leave that solid if you want, or take it off. It's completely up to you. But as far as measurements go, that's the one you want to get, is the Dexcom / Myo 1. They do have some other ones, but make sure you only get that one. That is it for today's video. Hopefully next week will be the how to set up the bubble and transfer it onto the watch and all that kind of stuff. And in the future, I was just able to figure out, with some huge help from my Facebook group and a couple of individuals, how to set up the Night Scout and how to send my numbers to my mom and my boyfriend and whoever else wants it. I just figured out how to do that, and so I'm super excited to share that with you as well. So those two videos will be coming in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. I just started college back up again for the fall, so schedules are a little crazy right now. So if I don't get them up every Tuesday, I apologize, but I am trying to get those to you once a week, just so you guys have some constant feedback and some constant information on the bubble since it's such a huge piece of technology that is literally growing every day. Before we wrap up, hit that subscribe button and mark that notification bell so you don't miss the next video. But that is it for today. Thank you once again for stopping by my channel, and remember to get out there and take on type 1.